Okay, we'll try this again. This is a single player version of the same seed that I have played on a realm with my son. So we found a lot of stuff together, he and I, and it's such a good seed that I decided to start a single player world, and that's what this is. So I already had a heads up on where some stuff were or was, but I have been exploring it further and found other stuff that we had not gotten to. All right, this is my supply room. This has been something that I have built numerous times, probably over a half a dozen different times on different seeds and different worlds. Supply room here, you see all the different chests labeled for different assorted things, items. An enchantment room with enough books to definitely give you a 30 on the enchantment. The one thing that I had done different was that one thing that I used to do, I don't build houses and stuff. I would just put a bed back here to set a spawn point. This time I decided to do something a little different and added a second story just so I could kind of look out around my different area and put my bed up here for spawn point. And I've got a traveler roaming around on my roof. Hello there. So anyway, supply room, enchantment room, garden, where I've got bamboo and some horses that have popped up. And there is the sugarcane, watermelon, pumpkins, berries, beets, carrots, wheat, potatoes. And I have a tree farm going. The different types of trees, the acacia, spruce, the oak, and then back here, dark oak, jungle, and spruce. Now you might have noticed the cactus all the way around. When I first started playing the game, fences worked great. The only issue was that if you were busy doing something, not paying attention, a creeper could come right up to the fence and be within a distance to where he would explode. Or a skelly could be standing on the other side of the fence and just load you up with arrows before you ducked and got out of the way. By putting the cactus around, it's 3 high, so nothing can see you, so there should be no issues with anything coming towards you from the other side of the cactus. Also, if spiders try to climb over it, which spiders can climb over fences, if they try to climb over that, it usually kills them. Okay, so you've seen my supply room, you've seen the tree farm. I've explained the reason for all the cactus. Alright, I do a lot of smelting and cooking and whatnot. Instead of using all my coal up, I went online and I found this automatic kelp farm by Skippy6 Gaming. This is the second time I have built this thing. No, I take that back, the third time. And it just works really well. And then I use Skippy6 Gaming furnace setup to take the kelp, put it in up there, it becomes dried kelp down at the bottom. You turn it into blocks, put it back into that hopper up there, and it feeds the furnace. And eventually you get extra blocks, and a block of kelp will do 20 items, and you can use it inside on furnaces in there or down in the mine that I have. So let me show you the other things that I've done in the overworld. We'll skip that area and go here. And this is my zombie XP farm. you see this ravine. This can be seen from above, or not this one, but there is a ravine just over the water, a little river that we had explored, and you could see the edge of the mossy cobblestone, which told us there was a spawner there. And one of the first spawners that my son and I found was this zombie spawner. Now, you're probably wondering why I don't have it dropping and killing them. And there is the reason why. If you see right back there, there is a zombie villager. And eventually, when someone comes up with a design that you don't have to have 80 villagers to do an iron farm, I will take these guys, cure them, and take them by cart up and put them into whatever design someone comes up with. So this is just the spawners there, made a 9x9 room that's flat, came out, fenced them in, and you can stand here and kill them and collect XP if you want. And look at, there's some bad guys in there too. I see a creeper and a spider there, so we'll leave them alone. Okay, so that's the zombie spawner and the reason for how I did that. Now this right here leads about 700 blocks in that direction, and then turn to the left and go 700 blocks to the stronghold and to the end portal. And I will eventually dress that tunnel up like I've dressed this one. I've got my jack-o'-lanterns there, but I haven't done the walls and the roof and all. Well, I think I've done the floor. Yeah, and the roof. I just haven't done the walls. I've started the walls. Okay, so anyway, yeah, I know, but I like it pretty. Okay, so anyway, that was the zombie spawner. And as I said, when we saw the ravine from above ground, you could see the green mossy stone. So we knew there were some spawners there, and that was one. And then this skelly spawner was the other one. Now, a lot of people will do the water elevators to take the skellies up 21 blocks or 20 blocks and let them drop back down 21 so they're one hit. I do the same design of the room, 9x9, and then you dig down one layer at the front where you want the water to flow, but instead of taking them up 20 and moving them across and letting them drop 21 to get a one hit, I just let the water come over 2 blocks, and then the third block they get flushed down, and they're only dropping 3 blocks. Now it takes 3 hits to kill them, but just load up with some cobblestone and use a bunch of sword. Takes a little longer, but it's just more simplistic instead of doing all that water elevator. Now I've done that water elevator numerous times, but it just gets to be a pain in the butt. And I saved the enchanted bows. I don't save the other bows. Save the arrows, save the bones, and then you get, helmets and gold and iron that way. But I take these, and combine them over here, and look at this: Unbreaking 3, Flame 1, Punch 2, Infinity 1, and Power 5. It took a while to get there. The last thing I did was increase the power from 4 to 5, and it took 39 XP to go from 4 to 5, but I wanted to max it out, and I did. So anyway, you've seen the zombie spawner, the skelly spawner, and then I have a spider spotter. Now this I found while exploring a cave. It was not in the ravine. Now this is my own design, or it's one that I use, and it's very simplistic. Again, the room is 9 by 9 with the 5-foot ceiling, 2 above and 2 below the spawner, and then you knock out the first 2 rows and design the floor to channel the water, and the water is at that level and just pushes them through. And I've set up 2 hoppers here that feed into this chest down here. Actually, there's 3. There's 2 right there that feeds into 1, which turns into here. And of course, you just stand back here and you kill them all day long. And these are, of course, the smaller cave spiders. So, no, this was not in a cave. This was in a abandoned mine. And that's where you find these, and they're only 1 block wide. This same design will work with the larger spiders. You just knock out 1 more row, so this is too wide, and extend your iron bars over 1 more. So, okay, that's the 3 XP farms: spider, skelly, and zombie, and how I kind of designed them and what I'm using them for. Next, again, one of the first things I did was get a mine going, and I do a 3x3 hallway centered with my ladder, 3x3, and off of that 3x3, I do a 2x3 on level 10, 50 blocks long, putting a torch every 5 blocks, and I've gone this far. Done that side. I've not done this, and once I've done that, I'll just dig this out so that there's 6 more side tunnels and keep on mining. And I found a lot of diamonds. I had almost 2 stacks of diamonds at one time, but I've been using them for tools. So, last thing to show you is I have been to the Nether. And I do my Nether portal down underground just to keep from hearing that noise that they'll sometimes make. And that's a view of the ravine, but this one is not seen from above ground. This is just another one. And as you see, I had to build the floor out and make this area to build this room. And I've got some visitors out there. Oh, hello there, bud. You scared me. Wasn't expecting anybody to come in. I've got visitors. So again, I said I've been to the Nether, and I found a fortress. Now this side is dirt for mushrooms. This side is soul sand for netherite. I've got me an enchantment table going. I'm sorry, a brewing stand going. So let's take a quick trip into the Nether. And I'll show you the last thing there. So when I first came through, there was 1 block here, and then where this stuff is sitting, empty air. And as you see, that was not a good place to go. So I've learned when you come through to step 1 step forward and then be very careful. Now you might have noticed all the furnaces in the floor. As much as I like to do the chiseled stone in the overworld, I use the netherite blocks to do my designing here in the Nether. And I only go 2 high in here instead of a 2.5, because this stuff is a little harder to make and come by. But I was using these furnaces to cook the netherite to make nether bricks, and I was using lava. Well, I was hunting around for lava up here, couldn't find any. I said, well, there's tons of it over here, so I went and got some sand and just dropped sand down into it to build me a column to come down here. I came back and redid it with cobblestone just so a ghast couldn't get me. Maybe a little tunnel across the walkway to get over here to the land. Here, I guess. I've got my good bow. I've killed probably 10 of them since I've been in here. Haven't collected any tears because they're usually over the lava. And I've collected a few tears over the years, but have never really used one for whatever potion it calls for. So anyway, there's my house that I built here. Okay, and like I said, when I came in, I was originally looking for glowstone, and as you see, it looks kind of lit back in that direction, so I went up over that hill, and boom, there was the fortress. So I found me a good place to go to start exploring from, and made me a tunnel to those coordinates. As you see, I've got this tunnel all dressed up. And this is almost like the top of it. It doesn't get much, everything else is lower and in that direction over there. But this is where I came in and looked. As soon as I came in, there was my netherite. And I've explored some of it. I have killed a few blazes, but I have not found a spawner yet. So that's what I've done in this world so far. I hope you enjoyed the tour. And thank you, and goodbye.